Okay, hello everyone. It's great to have you all on board. It's another time with Tuto IO 2026 Tuto. Okay, just trying to fix the audio very quickly so we all can be on the same page. All right, it's great to have you all on board. It's another time with Tuto IO 2026 Tuto, and in today's tutorial, it happens to be the continuation of the course. Basically, it's the revision of the course DES309, and we're going to be covering a lot together. And the exam of this course is taking place tomorrow, and we are having the revision of the exam today, the revision of the course today, because the exam is taking place tomorrow, so students can prepare for the examination of the course DES309. For those of us who are new to the stream, let's ensure to subscribe to the channel, very important. Let's also ensure to, it's a revision class, so you're expected to please attend to questions. So when questions are being written on the board, you're expected to provide answers to this question. And also, for those of us who have not gotten the keynotes of the course DES, all right, let's ensure to get the keynote. The keynote is ready, it's available. Let's ensure to reach out to me after this class and request the keynote to the course. Very, very important. All right, the keynote is highly essential, it's highly recommended, all right, for students preparing for the examination of DES 309. And I just need to confirm the audio very quickly. Can we all hear me? Please, we'll be using the comment section. Very important. Okay, the audio is perfect. So we'll be using the comment section all through this class. So you want to ensure to have your phone functional and respond to questions as we go through this all together. So just before we go into details of things, I like to draw our attention to certain things. So I'm just going to come to the face of the camera so you all can see me. So I like to draw attention to certain things very quickly. Now, this is, I presume that this is the first pen on paper exam students in this department. This is 300 level first semester. So this is the first pen on paper you're having. So before you go for this exam, there are certain things you need to bear in mind. First thing first, all right, it's your first time doing a POP exam in the National University of Nigeria. So first thing you need to eradicate is that you don't need to panic. Trust me, the pen on paper exam is the easiest, all right, exam you could pass. Why? The grading system is not based on your accuracy, all right? The grading system is based on the input you can contribute to any said question. And this is why I used to emphasize a theme in the class. All right, if you've been following me for a long time, you must have noticed that I keep emphasizing on something whenever we are taking the classes. And what exactly is that thing I keep emphasizing on is the fact that you need to understand the basic concept behind every course. There's a concept behind every course material. When I say concept, what is the idea behind studying this course? What is the idea behind having this course displayed on my list of registrable courses at first. That will make you understand. It will help you digest the understanding behind why you're even taking that course at first. Now, one thing we need to observe here is this particular course has a lot to do with development. All right, the kind of development we'll be talking about now will be that of community development. So everything you are coming across, the modules, the units, terminologies being used, is within the circumference, all right, the jurisdiction of community development. So this you need to bear in mind. Now, let's now fast track forward to the exam you're having tomorrow. Now, one thing you must bear in mind is having understand the basic concept behind the course itself. Anything coming out of this course, you have an idea, all right? And having an idea is enough for you to start with. It's not enough to scale you through, but it's enough for you to start with. Now, having a basic idea of the course is enough to start with, all right? So that basic idea is being worked upon, all right? Worked upon by attending the classes, like you hear now in the revision class, and like I presume you've been attending our previous classes, and using the exam keynote. Very important. Don't go about looking for past questions, all right? You get things complicated. The exam keynote for the course is highly essential. If you have not gotten it, you've not attended the class before now, you need to get it after this class. All you need to do is just reach out to me at the end of this class, probably later tonight, on our official website, which is www.tutorial.net. On the official website, you find the WhatsApp button in the top right hand corner. You have to send me a direct message and you can request for the keynote. Now, these keynotes are highly essential. They are your best shots at the exam. Now, with that being said, with the keynote and with the classes you've been attending, they are enough. Now, this is what makes pen on paper exam strictly totally different from the CBT. CBT is based on garbage in, garbage out, but POP now basically is based on your inputs. You don't have to get it all correct. You cannot quote all correctly, all right? There'll be changes, but you must not speak out of context. Every input you are making must be within the context. You must use your input correctly, context-wise. All this will be explaining in this revision class, and trust me, it's a revision class. We are not teaching, we are doing revision. We are revising over what has been taught through the course of the course, all right, in our classes. So ensure you use the comment section to let us know where you are watching from. Say hi, hello, good evening, and also comment, provide answers to questions. You don't have to give me a long note, but when I ask you anything, just give me your inputs that you can develop when you're in your exam hall, all right, because you'll be writing a lot of essays in the exam. When I say essay, you will need to provide solutions, not calculations, all right? I say solutions, I'm saying theoretical solutions to questions, all right? As this is what will help you accumulate all the grades and get you the good exam grade you need. So, with this being said, let's hop straight into. And before we get started, I want to use the opportunity to inform us that come next semester, let's ensure to come next semester, all right, let's ensure to join the private class early so that we can grab a lot of things together. All right, one of the things that I keep complaining to students about is when you join the private class early, we can start taking courses even before you register for the semester. Ensure to join the private class and let's start taking your classes so that by the time the semester starts and activities begin, we'll not need to rush through things. Okay? So now, like I said, it's all about the concept of development. Okay? Now, I want to make you understand something, that when it comes to POP, questions are twisted. Note that you will not be getting a direct question like define development. I'm not saying that it is impossible, but the chances of getting questions like that are very rare. All right. Now, if the examiner wants you to define development, the examiner will never tell you that define development. The examiner will either give a definition of what development is, and ask you if you are against or in support of that definition, proving with your own input that you are either in support or you are against definition. All right, this is one thing you must note. Now let's pay attention to these two different questions. So we have define development. Okay, that's question one. Now this is the second question. Okay, the audio is perfect. I just have to confirm the audio very quickly. So now it says here that development is essential to are we together? It can even be quoted in the name of the person giving the definition can even be quoted, but we're not doing that. I'm just trying to drive towards the point here. All right, and it says development, just a moment, is essentially, all right, the sustained improvement in well-being. Development is essentially the sustained improvement, in well-being. Okay, explain. Some can even go as far as giving you a certain amount of words you must use to explain. Some might even go as far as, with not less than 200 words, explain the statement above. Okay, with not less than 200 words, explain the statement. Development is essentially the sustained improvement in well-being. Now, you'll get confused. You'll be like, what is this about? The simple, see this question here? Where is my other marker? You see the question here and the question here. They are the same thing. If the question had come in this format, you know that, okay, this is what the examiner needs me to do here is to explain what it means by development. That's straightforward, that's cheap. All right, but chances that questions will not come in this format are high. Rather, the questions will be twisted. Some might even go as far as telling you, according to dash, or according to, now, I can't even go as far as telling you that you should quote one of the authors, one of the scholars that defined what development is. Yes, it can go as far as that. All right, but what I'm trying to say is that expect questions to come in this format, not in this format. So whether this format or this other format or any other format, if you don't have an understanding of what it means by development, it will take you time, which you don't have, and you will find it difficult to articulate questions. And if you cannot articulate the question, how can you provide an answer? So articulating what the question is, first and foremost, is the important thing. Because when you have an understanding of that question, that is when you can speak, all right, in line. That's when you can make a contribution that will be in line, all right? Proper use of words in context. But you can't achieve that if you don't understand the question. So now that we have this well explained, I believe we understand this. Now that this is well said and done, let's now go into our revision class. So now, we all know what development is, right? So very quickly, I want each and every one of us to just say something about what development is. All right? So I'll be giving us 2 minutes to define what development is. So permit me to go get some water while you provide answers to this question. All right, so define development. That's our first question for tonight. Okay. Okay, let's see what we have in the comment section. Okay, I'm waiting for us to give a quick, just something brief, what we understand by development. Okay, getting some response already. Wonderful. Like I always say, or like I've been saying, it does not have to be the same thing as what you have in your course material, but let it be in line. Okay, it does not have to be the same thing, but let it be in line with your course material. Oh, wonderful. I'm getting some nice responses already. I can see Miss Peace Joseph saying something here. I can see Not Bed of Roses. Let's wait for others to also say something too. Let's wait for others to make their contribution. Oh, wonderful, wonderful, lovely. Miss P says it's defined as a transformation of change or growth. Very important. Those are the key elements. Those are the key factors when it comes to development. Those are the key factors. Change, growth. All right. It could be physical. Basically, it should be physical because it should be visible. All right. So it could be in the economy, it could be in the community, it could be in the society. But the key factor here is there is a visible growth or change. All right, the change should be positive. Okay, yes, it says development is visible, positive change in the economy. Not bad. Thank you for that. A process that brings about enduring change. Wonderful. We all have spoken well. Okay, we all have spoken well. Let's keep up the good job. Okay. Yes. Now, let's consider this. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Let's keep the responses coming. Now, quite a couple of definitions by different scholars. All right, different scholars give their definition about the said term. But one thing we must note here, any way or anyhow you want to put this definition, you must note certain things like the manifestation of increase in national economy or increase and growth in economic activities. Just like we have Adam Smith and Krauss said development is the process that brings about an enduring increase in the economy. All right, that is by Adam Smith and Walter Krauss. All right, and enduring in the sense that a long-lasting improvement. All right, and enduring a long-lasting improvement, increase. All right, it's a process. Also, you need to note, oh, wonderful, thank you for that. You also need to know that when we talk about development, it's a process. All right, an enduring process. All right, so we have growth that brings about growth. All right, positive change. All these things we need to bear in mind. Okay, so we have that. Let's take a step further as we go through this together. So now that we have been able to talk about what it means by development, let's take a step further as we talk about the aspect. Okay, now that we know what development is, what are the aspects of development? What aspects, when we say aspect of development, what are we talking about? Now we know that development is a process that brings about visible growth and positive change. So in what ways can we witness, or in what ways should we expect this growth and positive change? In what aspect? All right, so what are the aspects of this development we're talking about? We can look at it from different angles. All right, politically, technological wise, culturally. All right, it can come from the aspect of the culture, from the aspect of technology, from the aspect of politics. All right, human development as well is also part of this aspect of development that we're talking about. All right, so let's take a step further. Now I want to talk about what it means by social development. Like I've made it clear to us earlier, questions will not be coming out straightforward. Questions will be twisted. Questions will be twisted. Okay? When questions are twisted, you need to bear in mind that you need to articulate first. Okay? Articulate first what the examiner needs you to do. Okay? When you understand what the examiner or what the question requires of you, then you will be able to tell that this is the answer I'm to provide. So I want us to, in a nutshell, what do we understand by social development? In a nutshell, all right. Now, when we say social development, now this is the combination of two words. You know, we've talked about development. Now it's been added to social, all right. So when we say social, we're talking about activities of a whole lot of people, different people in a social gathering or in a community. When you have people interacting, doing their things, we can refer to that as social gathering. So what is now this kind of development that is emanated from social gathering? All right. Then we have social development. So I want you to give me in your own words what you understand by social development. In your own words, what you understand by social development. Very quickly, I'm giving us 2 minutes for us to provide answers. What do you understand by social development? Okay. In a nutshell, what do we understand by the said term social development? Oh, wonderful. I'm getting some nice response. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Okay. I'm getting some nice responses. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at this definition. They are just wonderful. It says, this particular verse says, improving the well-being of every individual in the society. Yes. Remember we said positive change. Remember we said positive and visible change. All right. So in your case, you want to talk about if it's it depends on, let's say for example, if this question is graded 5 marks, don't just write one line. All right. Questions that have good marks, like if one question has 10 marks, please don't just write 4 lines. The higher the marks, the better it is for you to write more lines. If this question has just 3 marks or 2 marks, you can just give it 1 or 2 lines, or max 3 lines. But if this question alone like this has 5 marks in the exam, write as much as you can, because the more you write, the better your chances of getting good grades. Okay, so we have that as that. Okay. Now, yes, wonderful. We all have spoken well. Social development, we have spoken well. This is kind of development that we refer to as visible change and improvement in the society. Now, let's take a look at this. It says that when we talk about social development, then we are talking about access to job, all right, access to social amenities, access to quality education, access to political participation, irrespective of your gender. If all these good things are happening, they refer to it as social development. All right. So let's take note of all these points. Very, very important. Okay. So we've been able to attend to this. So I want us to list their factors. All right. They are agents of social development. And we also have factors of social development. So I want us to list just 2 factors. Okay, when we say factors, now we're talking about those things that lead to social development. What are those things? All right, what are those things capable of ushering in social development? So we have list of, now please, when they say lists, when you are asked to list, don't define. But when you are asked to state, list and define. When you are asked to mention, just list. But when you are asked to mention, list and define, or mention and define, that means you have to list them out and also define them. Miss Peace, what are you deleting? Okay, so we have just 2 factors. All right, so we have list 2 factors of social development. Just 2. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, yes. Awesome. Okay, please, you give me a moment. I need to go and turn on generator set. My laptop just signaled battery low, and I wouldn't want it to go and switch off because that's where I'm getting that's where my note is. So just give me a second while I go turn on the generator set. Okay, I think I even need to connect it so it doesn't just trip off before I get back. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, we are back. All right. So as I was explaining, social development highly essential. All right. Social development is highly essential, and we've been able to talk about that. And the instruction is to list out. Okay, the instruction is to list out two, and yes, indeed, we have. All right. Yes, indeed, we have listed out good points. Wonderful. So without further ado, let's take a step further. All right. So when we talk about, there's also something I want us to understand. All right. We need to pay attention to gender equality. Irrespective of your gender, you should not be denied certain rights because of your gender. Okay. So irrespective of your gender, you should have access to anything anybody in that community or society can access. Very important. So I want us to also list two agents. All right, two agents. List two agents of social development. List two agents of social development. Okay? Two agents of social development. List two agents, we've attended to this, of social development. Who is helping with that? Two agents. Wonderful. I'm getting some responses already. Yes, awesome. Thank you for that, Miss Peace. Wonderful. Yes, awesome. We are doing a great job. Yes, civil society. Wonderful, wonderful. We are doing a great job. Yes, thank you very much for that. We have traditional societies. Speaking of the traditional institutions, okay, in the society, they are also agents, okay, they are agents responsible. Civil societies as well, they are also agents. We have educational institutions and the government. These are agents of social development. So, let's proceed. Yes, wonderful. So let's proceed. Now, I want us to attempt this question. It says, human development. All right? What, all right, your inputs on human development. Now, we've talked about social development. All right? We've talked about development. So, what's your input on human development? Okay? What's your input on human development? In a moment, what is your input on human development? All right? Irrespective of whatever development it is, don't forget that the suffix should dominate, which is development. All right? But this kind of development now is particular about human development. Okay? So I'm giving us 1 minute. All right, let's use the comment section. I'm getting some nice responses already. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Yes. Getting some nice responses. Okay. Let's keep the answers coming in. All right. Oh, wonderful. Lovely, lovely. Let's keep the answers coming in. Please, if you are new to the stream and you haven't subscribed to the channel, let's ensure to do that. And also ensure to smash the like button if you are yet to do that as well. It's highly essential. Okay. Let's keep the answers coming. Okay. Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. We all are doing well. Okay. Yes. I can see a whole lot of definitions. Wonderful. Yes. When we say human development, like I said earlier, irrespective of the developments, whether human, society, what have you, all right, the prefix is the subject, all right, the prefix is the subject, all right. In this case, development is, okay, we are speaking of the positive change in character and behavior, all right, of humans towards certain concepts. Okay, the human development is connected to the growth process. It's all about growth, all right, of people's freedom and opportunity, as well as improved quality of life, all right. When the quality of life is being improved, all right, then we talk about human development. When quality of life, what are we saying about quality of life? When people become more educated, have access to good social amenities, have access to good health facility, definitely you are developing them. Good education, good political system, good healthcare facility, loan facility for entrepreneurs, all this cumulatively serves as human development. Our time is fast spent because the next class is coming up right away. Like I said, we'll not be able to cover everything in the revision class. But most importantly, after this class, let's ensure to request the keynotes, all right, of this course. So lastly, before we call it a wrap for tonight, all right, there's something called rural development. All right, and when we say rural, what do we understand by the word rural? Okay, what do we understand by the word rural? Let's say something about that. What do you understand by the word rural? Miss Peace, you want to say something? You said hi. We are about 15 of us and I'm seeing just 9 likes. What is the problem? Why are we not liking the stream? Please, if you're on the stream and you have not liked the stream, please let's ensure to like the stream. Okay, so we are going to be calling it up very soon. And like I usually say, next semester, let's try and join the private. Cover a lot. So, what do we understand by the word rural? Rural environment. Use the comment section. Let's be fond of using this comment section. You are going to go and write essay. You know, it's a different thing for you to know the answer. It's another thing for you to be able to express yourself. Please let's learn how to express ourselves. If you can express yourself perfectly and correctly on YouTube, trust me, using your pen to express yourself on your answer sheet will be easy. Some of us don't know why I used to insist we come on YouTube. If you can do it correctly on YouTube, writing that exam will be a piece of cake for you. All right, so please don't just watch. contribute, engage. Wonderful. All right. Yes. Now that we understand what it means by rural, so now we understand that it's a place of low standard of living, a place that is underdeveloped, and you see people migrating from rural environment to urban environment, and we begin to have issues of, all right, urbanization. All right, we begin to have issue of overpopulation, because most of the areas in undeveloped country or developing countries are mostly, their population are mostly occupying rural areas, right, where there is no provision for good education facilities, good health, and the likes. So now that you understand this, then when we now say rural development, you can now put this together and be able to say something about rural development. All right, then we want to talk about the environment or areas that need development. What kind of development does this area need? Good education, schools, social amenities, healthcare facilities, and the likes. Okay, these are points. All right, these are points you are very intentional about, because if you come across questions like this, no matter how they are being twisted, you'll be able to say something. Okay, so when we say rural development, we are talking about, all right, the approach that takes into consideration rural poverty, all right, and begin to work on improving the society. All right, so we're going to call it a wrap here for today. A whole lot to talk about, but time will not permit us. All right, so that's why it is very important for you to get the keynote of this course. Just after this class, reach out to us today on our official website, which is www.tutorio.net, www.tutorio.net, and use the WhatsApp button in the top right hand corner to send us a direct message. All right, direct message on WhatsApp, request for your keynote, and we will definitely guide you on how to get it. Tomorrow is the exam. I wish you all okay. So basically the network is so bad, so terrible. So just ensure to put in the work, get the keynote, and I look forward to seeing you all in subsequent tutorial. Do have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.